So as Andrea said, I'm Chrisi Kincaid. I'm the Director of Academic Advising for WSU's Global Campus, and I have had the pleasure of watching students graduate from the Global Campus and from WSU for many, many years. And I'm very excited to join you here tonight. As I said in the chat, this is an exciting time. It means that you all are getting close to the finish line and starting to think about graduation and commencement. So let's get started. And we'll make sure that we have some time at the end for any questions, concerns, kudos, conundrums that you might have. So the first thing I want to talk about is the difference between graduation and commencement, because a lot of times people use those terms interchangeably. So graduation is basically the paper process. It just means that once you have completed all of your university requirements, your department requirements for your specific major, any special major requirements, internships, things like that, and you have paid the graduation fee online, then you are in the queue for graduation. I want to encourage all of you that when you hit 90 credits, and most of you probably already have, and that's why you're here, you want to go ahead and apply for graduation, because if you do wait too long and you wait right before graduation and commencement, there is going to be late fees, and we don't want you to have to pay those. So the graduation fee is $60. And if you have hit 90 credits, then you can go ahead and apply. Now, where do you apply? So you can go to My WSU and look at all your tiles in My WSU. And if you simply click on the advising tile on the left-hand side of the page, when you do that, you're going to see a place where you can apply for graduation. Super easy. And then commencement actually refers to the ceremony. It's when you take that opportunity to celebrate with your family and friends and participate in a commencement ceremony if you choose. We're going to be talking about logistics and things like that for commencement. It used to be that Global Campus students always walked in Pullman or perhaps one of the other face-to-face campuses. But a few years ago, we got to have our very first Global Campus commencement ceremony. So we are very excited about that. And Andrea is going to give you some information that we just got this week about commencement in May. So we're going to be happy to share some information with you about that. Okay, again, little mouse issue, of course. I don't really know why, but it's not wanting to go where I want it to go. Just a moment. All right, there we go. So what are the instructions to actually graduate? So like I said, you're going to want to go into My WSU and apply to graduate. And then you're going to be talking with your advisor and working together to make sure that you have completed all of your academic requirements for your particular degree or major. And then in My WSU, your diploma is going to be mailed to the address that is listed in My WSU as your mailing address. So if you have moved recently, you'll want to go in and update that. If you apply to graduate and then you move after that, you want to make sure and go in and make sure that your mailing address is correct, because otherwise what will happen is your diploma will go to the address and maybe shipped back to WSU. And then finally, in order to graduate, if you have any kind of an account balance, you're going to want to settle those account balances in order to be able to receive your diploma. Like I said earlier, students can apply to graduate once they have hit 90 credits. And so, as I mentioned, you can apply online in your WSU Student Center. And then I did list the deadlines here once again. And so we talked a little bit about completing all your academic requirements. So in My WSU, on your advising tile, there's something called academic progress or academic requirements. And our advisors are working in partnership with you all to try and help you make sure that you have completed everything you need to complete in order to graduate. So it's really important that if you haven't done so yet, that you take some time to review that academic requirements report. That is the official place that is going to get you cleared for graduation. And so what we want that to show as you're heading into your last semester is that all of the requirements are either complete or in progress. It's fine if you look at your, like let's say you're graduating this December or next May, it's fine if you look at some of your requirements and they're showing that they're in progress. That's great. But what we don't want is we don't want to miss anything, like 1 credit of upper division or something like that that would prevent you from receiving your diploma. So make sure that you take the time to review that academic progress report. We're going to be opening academic advising here pretty soon on Monday, October 16th. That would be the perfect time for you to schedule an appointment with your academic advisor just to review your academic requirements together and make sure that you are on track to getting those all complete.
Chrisi, there's a question. Is there a deadline for the suitable amplifier?
Yes, the suitable amplifier program has to be completed in order for you to graduate. So if you haven't had reminders already, you're probably getting some. Check your email, make sure that you're looking at that. For those of you who are non-business students, the amplifier program is a not-for-credit program that is in addition to all the rest of the requirements for a business degree. And so, yes, that has to be done by the time you graduate in order for you to clear graduations and receive a diploma. Talked a little bit about making sure that your name and address are up to date. So if you've had a name change recently or something like that, it's really easy to go in and make that name change at Payroll Services. And I listed the website here. And if you have any questions or concerns about changing your name, you can always contact Payroll Services and they'll help you. They usually want some updated forms of identification, like a new driver's license with your new name or something like that. And then also, if you change your name after you apply for graduation, or if you change your address after you apply for graduation, you're going to want to update those things in My WSU, but it would also be a good idea to reach out to the registrar's office if you have any questions or concerns about that. One of the things we talked about is settling all financial obligations. So you can see your student account listed in My WSU, and it's a great idea to go in, pay any outstanding charges. Sometimes people have a late fee that they didn't know about, and that shows up in their account, during the semester. So it's a really good idea, like the month before graduation, to check one more time and just make sure that you don't have a $6 fee on your account, because any balance, even if it's 35 cents, will prevent your diploma from being sent. So make sure that you take the time to make sure that those accounts are zeroed out. For financial aid, sometimes some students are required to complete exit counseling. So be checking your student records to see if there's any, nudge to you that you need to complete that. And if you do, then make sure you set that appointment up. And again, any balance, doesn't matter how much, is going to keep you from getting your diploma. So just make sure that you check on that right before graduation. Sometimes students have questions about financial aid or scholarships at the end. Maybe something didn't get quite covered during your last semester. Please don't hesitate to reach out to the WSU Financial Aid Office. Global Campus students are, as many of you know, advised by the same wonderful financial aid advisors who work with Pullman students. And you can contact them. You can schedule an appointment if a phone call isn't what you're looking for. And I think you can schedule via Zoom or phone. If you have any questions about a scholarship you received, or maybe it wasn't enough to cover that last bit of tuition, please don't hesitate to reach out to the financial aid office. And I'm actually the liaison to the financial aid office. And so if you have a balance that you're having trouble getting paid off or something, please don't hesitate to contact myself I would be glad to go to bat with you and work with the financial aid office on trying to find the solution. So students are encouraged to walk in any of the scheduled campus commencement ceremonies. So let's say you live near Vancouver and you say, my family's all there. It's a-okay for you to walk in Vancouver commencement. Or if you live in Spokane and you say, gosh, I've got an elderly grandmother who's really has trouble traveling. It's just fine to go ahead and reach out to the registrar's office on any campus that you may want to walk on. In December every year, the only commencement ceremony is in Pullman. So whether you're on the Tri-Cities or the global campus or whatever, if you want to participate in commencement, it's going to be in Pullman. In May is when we have our global campus annual commencement ceremony. Last year it was in Everett and it was very well attended. We had far more people than we even thought we were going to have, and it was great, great fun. And this year we've got an even bigger venue, and I'm going to let Andrea talk about that pretty soon. So, you have worked really, really hard, spent hours of time studying, and just done yourself proud with everything that you've done up to this point. And so why not allow yourself to just participate in one of these ceremonies so that you can, don your cap and gown and wear your tassel proudly and celebrate with your family and friends. We would love to have you. Something else that you can do after you graduate is become a member of the WSU Alumni Association. The Alumni Association has groups everywhere. So I just can't even tell you how many groups are all over the United States and other parts of the world. Sometimes people have viewing parties for volleyball or women's soccer or football or things like that. There's also benefits to being a part of the Alumni Association in the form of discounts on Cougar gear and things like that. And then you're just going to be part of a very big group of proud Coug alums, and it can be a really fun group to be a part of. So we talked a little bit about choosing a campus to walk in. One thing I want to mention about commencement is that there's a program. And if you delay until the very last second applying for graduation, then you want to participate in commencement, then your name may not appear in the program because we do have to get those things printed early. So as I said earlier, apply for graduation early. Make sure you do that, and that way there won't be any issue with your name being in the program, and you can grab a few and share them with your family, and everybody will be super proud. To order caps and gowns, we got a jump start on this for May. In January, the Herff Jones site, and Herff Jones provides regalia for WSU at all campus. Their site is going to go live on January 8th, and we're going to be sharing that information out with all of you. And that's for spring commencement. If you are planning on walking this fall at the WSU commencement here in Pullman, you can go to the WSU Pullman commencement site, and they already have the information there about how to order your regalia and that sort of thing. It's also good ahead of time, whether you're going to walk in Pullman or on another campus, or you're going to participate in the global campus commencement, is to kind of nail down your logistics. What will you do about parking? How many people will you be bringing? Make sure that you know what time you are supposed to be there and what time the doors open so that you can get registered, or actually not registered because you will have already done that, but get checked in and then get in line for a processional. So we'll be doing that as we kind of go into the ballroom in Seattle this year. Herff Jones is also the website that you're going to be using if you want to order announcements and send those to your family and friends, letting everybody know how hard you've been working. And if you are interested in a class ring, Herff Jones is also where you're going to be getting that information. Once that site goes live in January for May 2024, there will be an actual paper flyer sent to everybody who is eligible to walk in commencement in May. And so you'll have something sent to you about a week after that time, and it has all the information about caps, gowns, announcements, class rings, etc. We'll also be putting all of that really good information up on our website. So stay tuned and keep checking our website for additions as we kind of roll along. If you live in Pennsylvania and you decide that you want to come to the Global Campus Commencement, we would love to have you. But it's also good to be thinking about lodging, where you're going to stay when you come. So that's something to be thinking about now. If you plan on participating in commencement in Pullman, lodging fills up very fast. So it is not too early right now to secure your lodging for here in Pullman for commencement. So I just want to thank you all for attending tonight. Andrea has some pretty exciting news to share with everybody. And then we're going to just open up the floor for any questions or things like that that you folks have. So I'm going to turn it over to Andrea.
Yay! Yes, as Chrisi mentioned, you all are welcome to go to any campus and celebrate in their commencement. But I really highly encourage you to come to your very own global campus commencement. And you know why? Because it's hybrid. So you don't have to attend in person. You could attend virtually. So you can actually attend any way that you feel most comfortable. And so I'm going to start sharing my screen so you can see some great information. Okay, so here we go. Our commencement this year will be held at the Westin in downtown Seattle, Washington. That's right. It will be at this wonderful, fancy, wonderful Marriott. If you follow the QR code, it will take you to their website. We are planning, your student government, to be exact, is planning a dinner reception on May 3rd at the Westin. The 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. will be check-in and wait for it, cap decorating. So, yep, that's right. If you are like, I really want to decorate my cap, we will have art supplies there before dinner so you can decorate your cap with your fellow COUG graduates, Global Campus COUG graduates. And then at 7 o'clock, dinner will begin. And also, just because I like you all, and I'll tell you a secret, there will be a cash bar there too. So make sure if you like that kind of thing, you bring some extra money, because Chrisi said, make sure you know all your logistics. So you'll need to know that. But the dinner is free because you're a Global Campus student and your government wants to pay for you. So if you're an SNA fee paying student, that dinner will be free to you if you choose to come and attend. And then, as I mentioned, the day after, May 4th, Saturday, will be the commencement. And so we will start having check-in around 9 o'clock. And then commencement begins at 10, and that is live streamed. So any of your family members that can't come can watch it online. And I also want to go back to that. So the dinner reception, because your student government is paying for that one, you can only bring 3 guests. But on Saturday, we currently do not have a limit for guests at our commencement. We want you all to bring your family to celebrate with you. So we don't currently have a guest limit, and we don't currently use a ticket system. They show up, they find a seat, and they get to watch you. So it's very exciting. Okay, next. Financial support. But Andrea, I want to come in person, but that's so expensive. Chrisi just said it was expensive. Well, yeah, guess what though? The Westin is giving us a rate just for you to offer. So we'll start sending communications to you all with this special link on how to do this. And you can get a room at the Westin for $235 for the night. That means you can show up, get your belly fed with some wonderful free food, meet your fellow graduates, decorate your cap Friday night, go upstairs to your room, get some good rest, get dressed in the morning in your wonderful cap and gown, go downstairs, voila, you're there, the stressless day. It'll be perfect. So don't forget, Also, ASWCUG has reimbursements. That's what this QR code is for. Did you know they have reimbursements? Reimbursements not only to pay back your cap and gown, but also to pay for your travel if you choose to come in person. They also have reimbursements for food and childcare and lots of other things. So go check that out. Y'all qualify if you're an SNA paying student, which I'm probably guessing y'all are. So yes, reimbursements, there's no excuse. You can either come in person and have some help financially, or you can attend online. Either way, if you attend online or in person, the commencement ceremony is recorded. It's on YouTube. You can share it with anybody and everybody you want. The wonderful memories of you walking across the stage will always be captured. In fact, this QR code takes you to our recording of last year. One of the most amazing things is your fellow Coug had a baby. His wife was giving birth to his very first newborn baby, so he couldn't attend in person. So he said, "Oh no, I have to attend virtually." And when it was his turn for his name to be called to go across the virtual stage, we got to see his new baby. He was holding his new baby in the hospital room. So great, precious memories that are always recorded. Also, when you register, whether you attend virtually or in person, they're going to ask you for a message. This can be a message of thanks, mom and dad, thanks, husband, thanks, partner, for supporting me in all those mad, crazy nights I was up writing 10-page essays. Thank you so much for everything. It could be whatever message you want. And we play that before the commencement starts. So you get to see your name, your degree, and your message of whatever you would like to say. And then we also supply, Chrissy talked about PDF. Global Campus makes their own PDF with just our Global Campus names in it. No Pullman names. This is just global only. And so there'll be a PDF for this commencement as well, or for this program as well. And last but not least, if you sign up to attend either virtually or in person our commencement ceremony, you will get offered a promo code for a discount. I'm waiting for my camera to catch up. To buy either a shirt or sweatshirt that has the year you graduated and Global Campus on it, and then the name of everybody on the back. And you won't have as many names as I have. You'll have less, and so your name will be bigger, and everyone will get to read it. And it'll be awesome. This is a Pullman shirt. We had way too many people. My name is like this big. So let's see. I think that's all I have. Oh, wait, no, there's more. This doesn't have to do with graduation. This just has to do with giving you all free stuff. So right now, did you all know you have an esports team? That's right. Global Campus has an esports team. We compete against other Pac-12 universities. And so if you would like to support your esports team, there is a code for $20 off your order and a QR code to tell you where to get it. So thank you so much. This is when we get to ask if there's any questions.
Also, I'm going to go ahead and put my email in the chat. And so we are so happy to take any questions that any of you have right now. But if you want to jot that down, if you think of something later, feel free to email me. I'm happy to help field some of those questions. Again, we're also going to be going into advising season here pretty soon. Your advisor is also a really good person to chat with about this. And if there's a question that you have that they can't answer, they'll reach out to me or Andrea or somebody else on our commencement team. So now I'm just going to be quiet and feel free to unmute yourself if you have questions.
So Chrissy, we had some questions come up in our chat. When should you apply for graduation if you're not exactly sure if you will graduate when planned due to a life circumstance?
So I did answer that in the chat. Oh, it's okay, but I'll also just say that if you apply to graduate next spring and something happens next spring, somebody gets ill or you get ill or, you know, for whatever reason, you're not able to finish classes, don't stress, because once you've applied for graduation, If there was some reason you needed to move your graduation date to August or December, you don't have to pay that fee again. It's simply called a graduation date change, and you can do that in my WSU. So if there are any life circumstances that change and you need to move that date, absolutely no problem. And then Elizabeth, you had a good question about, do we get to choose if we want to go to the Weston or Pullman commencement? Absolutely. So, some people might want to come walk in Pullman because they know other people that they want to walk with here. That's a-okay. Most of our students have started going to the global campus commencement, and we love that. But as I mentioned, if you're closer to the Tri-Cities, closer to Vancouver, closer to Spokane, a-okay, you're just going to want to reach out to the registrar at that particular campus or go to their commencement site for that particular campus, because they will want to know that you are going to participate.
Great. And we have another question. If we already applied to graduate, can we walk in the May commencement, or do we have to change our grad dates?
So if you already applied to graduate and you are graduating this December, you're still eligible to walk in May. And so we will be sending information out we kind of go back a semester to our December grads, and we also send information to people that are May grad candidates, and then we go forward to people who are August grad candidates. So even if you have to finish up a class next summer, you can still walk in commencement in May. That's a-okay.
Yes, and there's not currently a registration link for it because you'll get mailed it. We will start our communications and you'll get emailed everything you need to know. So make sure that you read those emails. It'll tell you when to register, when the registration dates are, when you need to make sure you get your photo in for the slideshow and all of that information. So we will communicate that to your email.
Another good reason to be checking your WSU email a couple of times a week. I had the question here from Morgan: when does registration open for winter session? It's open now. It's actually considered for financial aid purposes to be a sort of a part of the fall. And so if you have questions about a class that you want to take or winter session itself, feel free to reach out to your advisor, but you can register for winter session now.
And Amaris, there is not a form. It's part of the registration, and we're trying to make it very easy where you just pop the message and the photo right there when you register, and you're good to go. So that'll be part of the link that we'll email out to y'all. And I imagine those emails will start probably November. I imagine November you'll get those emails starting to talk about commencement. And we do also have a professional photographer that comes as well. So if you choose to come in person, you will have photos. Those are free of cost to you. Professional photographer takes your photo of you holding your diploma cover. And also, if you choose to, I forgot to mention this, do choose to participate virtually, we still also mail you a diploma cover. So you have a diploma cover as well. Sometimes people like to share that on their screen. And we also do a little practice run with those that choose to attend virtually as well the Thursday night before. So we get online and do a little practice run. And for those that attend at the ASWSU dinner the night before, I kind of run through the day before or the next day as activities as well.
Sometimes we get questions about diplomas too. People say, gosh, am I going to be handed my diploma when I walk in commencement? And because they're two separate things, here's how the diplomas work. When we get to the end of a semester and grades post, there's then a 6-week graduation clearing period. Now, if your grades post and that causes everything in your academic requirements report to all of a sudden collapse and show that everything is complete, every day graduations is going to do a sweep, and they are going to be looking for people that have cleared. So in the initial sweep, they may clear thousands of people the day after grades post. So it's an automatic process. But if for some reason, like after your grades post, it looks like, hey, there's something that's still on here that looks like it's preventing me from graduating. Sometimes it might be that in your particular department, an advisor has to put in what we call an exception or substitute a course or something like that. So if that happens, reach out to your advisor right away. But that clearing period will go on for 6 weeks. And during that time, as people clear, they're also going to be ordering the diplomas, and then they will get mailed out to you. So that's how you're going to get your diploma. It'll arrive at your home address or your mailing address in my WSU via registered mail. Sophia, you had a question. If we attend in Seattle, is there a rehearsal? There is not a rehearsal like the night before or anything. We have this wonderful dinner and everything, but we have lots of super helpful people. All of the advisors will be there. Lots of other people that are on staff with the global campus, and we are going to make sure that you feel completely comfortable about where you should go and when. We'll make sure that we have everything really clearly marked. You're going to go and check in at a desk. As Andrea mentioned, there'll be an opportunity for you to get in the photo booth with your family and your friends and have some fun and things like that. And then there is no assigned seating for your family. So then they can just go ahead, go in, find a seat, and then you will be in a separate ballroom area. Looks like it's a really big room on the Weston map. And we'll make sure that you are all lined up in the proper place to process in to the ballroom.
Yes, and as mentioned, if you do attend that dinner, I do, before everyone leaves after dinner, I do go over all of the instructions again and show everybody what to expect. And the dinner minus the seating, because we all have tables, it's also set up so you already get to see the stage. You get to see, you could even practice walking across the stage during dinner. So it's in the same space. So it's really nice. And like I said, it's very comforting to be in the same building and not have to worry and have that extra stress of traveling somewhere when you're just really excited about not tripping across the stage.
I just got a really good question. Is Seattle for undergraduate and graduate degrees? And the answer is yes. And if you are an undergraduate, you're going to be wearing your cap and gown, and then you're going to be wearing a yoke over that. We will make sure that you have your regalia on correctly and your tassels on the right side of your hat and everything before you process in. Those of you who are graduating with master's degrees, you're going to, as part of your commencement regalia, you're going to be wearing what's called a hood. And so last year, I spent a lot of time helping people make sure that they had their hoods on correctly and they were all in the right place, because they are a really weird shape. It looks like something that should go over an elephant's nose. So again, we'll make sure that there's people posted around that are going to help you make sure that all of that's in place. And yes, this is both for undergrad and graduate degrees.
Also, before the ceremony, before the commencement, honor cords are mailed out to you all. And Chrisi could probably give you more details of when honor cords are mailed to you. But if you are, if you have the GPA for that, those will get mailed to you. And then for those that are interested in being involved and still have time, we have lots of student clubs that are hoping to provide cords for their members as well. And so some of those student leaders and student clubs will have cords and stoles. So there's still time for those of you not graduating till May to get involved. So you could definitely reach out to me and get some extra bling around your neck if that's something you're looking for. So yes, there are definitely opportunities. Jessica asked, did I understand correctly that we have to request our diploma?
Yes, and I want to make a really clear distinction. To get your diploma, you are going to apply for graduation. You're going to do that in My WSU on your academic advising tab. Participating in commencement is a completely different registration. And so I just want to make sure that we make that distinction. So to graduate and receive your diploma, you're going to want to apply to graduate in My WSU on your academic advising tile. Super easy, $60. To register for commencement, we're going to be sending emails out to all of you with that information, because sometimes people have shown up at commencement and said, well, I applied to graduate. And then we're like, oh gosh, well, we sent all this information out about registering for commencement to participate in the party, and we want you to all do that. And then, so Jessica, did that answer your question about that? So when you apply for graduation, that's basically requesting that your diploma be mailed to you once you have completed all your requirements, and it will be automatic.
Okay, so once the 6-week period ends, then that's just mailed to you.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. And they'll actually, you know, years ago, they used to wait until that 6-week time period was over and then order all the diplomas in a batch. Now, in those initial couple of days right after grades post and people are clearing, they order the diplomas as people clear. So you may even get it far sooner than 6 weeks.
Thank you.
You bet. If we don't want to register for commencement, will we still get a diploma cover and a tassel, or do we need to order them? So we don't have like a big stash of tassels, but they can be ordered on the WSU website. And we can, and Andrea, if I got that wrong, let me know. But for the diploma covers, we get quite a lot of them. And so if you are unable to participate in commencement, but you want a diploma cover, if you send me an email, I will make sure you get one. Or even, you know, we have that great general email online at wsu.edu. If you send it there, we'll make sure that you have one. Let's see. Any other questions that I didn't answer? And feel free to put things in the chat or unmute.
Oh, good question. Is there a dress code for any of the ceremonies? That is a good question. Chrissy.
So folks are always encouraged to wear regalia and to rent the regalia, but what you choose to wear, you know, if you wore jeans, great. If you wear, you know, really nice slacks or something like that, great. I mean, we want to welcome you and welcome you to come and have fun and participate, and you just should wear whatever you feel comfortable in. So if you feel like wearing something really fancy because it's a special day, then just go for it. And students don't absolutely have to be wearing regalia. Most students want to wear regalia because they want their picture taken in their cap and gown and things like that. But if you had registered for commencement and said, I didn't order regalia, nobody is going to prevent you from participating.
And also don't forget, and I can drop that link again, but your student government has a reimbursement. So granted, you'll have to have the money up front to buy your, or to rent your regalia, but they will give you money back. So really, they're helping you out there, and you paid into that to help, for them to help you. So you can utilize those funds.
And when you get your regalia, Herff Jones, for the global campus, if you're participating in global campus commencement, everybody is what we call home ship. So your regalia is going to be shipped to your home. And so when you get it, you'll bring it with you to participate in commencement. And then when you go home after commencement, there is going to be a shipping label that you'll receive with your regalia so that you can send the yoke and the gown back, or if you're a master's candidate, you would send back the hood and the gown. The tassel and the caps are yours to keep.
There was another question about WSU email, and when does it go inactive after graduation, or does it go inactive after graduation?
You know, I used to know the answer to that. And Amal, I will double check on that. I'm going to just jot down your name and I will make sure I get back to you on that.
Thank you.
You bet.
And then Chrissy, do you know if they can buy the regalia if they would rather keep it instead of rent it?
Yes, I actually talked to Howard about that, and we're going to be including this information when we email you about the Global Campus commencement ceremony and regalia. So sometimes, especially people that maybe get their master's degree, they want to purchase the regalia. It is expensive. I believe it's over $1,000 to keep your gown and the hood and everything. But yes, you absolutely can if you want to keep it instead of renting it. And we provide a special email address that we have been given by Herf Jones that you can email them directly and just say, hey, I would rather buy than rent.
These are all really, really good questions. So thank you,
Yes.
everybody.
Andrew, do we know anything about parking at the Westin? I understand. I thought that there, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed to me that there used to be a huge parking garage next to the Westin.
The Westin has parking for our guests at a discounted rate. If you give me a moment, I can look that up. But yes, it is very close to downtown Seattle as well. So I imagine there are also other parking garage opportunities. But give me 1 second. My Teams is really lagging.
Yeah, that's a-okay. So that is something to think, we talked a little bit about commencement logistics, just to be sure that you know what time your ceremony starts. If you're coming to the Global Campus one, it's going to be at 10 a.m. If you're attending in Pullman, there's three different ceremony times, depending on what college you are graduating from. And so you want to account for parking time and also account for the time that they want you to be there to line up for any processionals that they have. So oftentimes, like if a ceremony is going to start at 8:30 in the morning on the Pullman campus, which one of them does, they're going to want you to be there by 7:30 to line up for the processional, which means you're going to probably need to be at campus by 7 to be parking.
So I dropped it in the chat. So the Westin will be having $18 for self-parking and $28 for valet if you wanted to park at the Westin. Now, I believe if you are if you're staying the night, that will not be, but I need to double check on that. But usually if you're an overnight guest, you would have a different rate as well. So. Oh, Aaron lives in Seattle. He's like, that's a good price for parking. So trust the Seattle resident over there. It's a gorgeous building if you haven't been there. And I will say, I was a little saddened, but I understand when I toured it, all the lights, the ambient lighting was purple because, of course, I was in Seattle. But they promised me when we are there celebrating all of you, it will be crimson inside and out. The building will glow crimson. So yes, we will be taking over Seattle and saying no purple here today, just crimson. Any other questions? Oh, what date is
What?
Oh, the May. It is May 3rd and 4th. The actual commencement day is on the 4th because I'm remembering it that May the 4th
Yes.
be with you all. So yes, think of May 4th be with you. Yep, Aaron. And that is the date of commencement for 2024.
Yeah, so we're probably going to have students line up, like, say, hey, we're going to be opening the doors like at 9, maybe a little bit earlier, but I would try and then think about being in downtown Seattle at 8:30 to park, get to the Westin, and then just not feel rushed when you check in and have some time to maybe get your family to go be a part of the photo booth and then take the time to make sure that you're all lined up.
Yes. Or just come the night before. Enjoy the free dinner. I'm telling you,
absolutely.
That's Chrisi. That's the way. You were there. It was you get to enjoy all the wonderful students there and their accomplishments and their families. And then you just get to wake up in a nice hotel bed and go downstairs and celebrate some more. Oh, Amaris, no worries. That just means you're super smarty.
We'll toast you.
Any other questions? And we will this year, we will try to we're having a ramp up the stage. So if there's any mobility issues, we think about that. Also, for if you all are choosing to do our global campus commencement ceremony, when you register, one year we had a student whose grandma needed a ASL interpreter. And so we had an ASL interpreter there. And so please let us know accommodations as well. And if we can accommodate, we will. So please include that when you are registering for commencement.
We also had a student last year. Well, actually, we had a few students that had, somebody had, I think, broken their foot or something like that. We make sure that there's people. It sounds like this year there'll be ramps, but we'll make sure that there's people on both sides of the stage if somebody needs some kind of assistance. So, there'll be a lot of people there to help you with questions, concerns, or anything else that you might need.
One thing I suggest, no matter what commencement ceremony you choose, try your best to come up with a phonetic for your name. Your name caller, the person that calls your name across the stage, will thank you very, very much. So try, what is a phonetic, Andrea? It's when I sound out my name. And so sometimes maybe I'll say, let's see, my name might be Andrea. Well, that's not how I say my name. So I'll have to sound it out on a piece of paper. So we will ask you that for our global campus commencement. And so we want to make sure we say your name correctly. So if someone asks you for phonetics, try your hardest to do that. Okay, well, you'll need that. No one can pronounce your last name right, Erica. Oh, I don't know if I could. I'm going to put myself on the spot. Sponberg. I don't know if I've even tried to say your last name, Erica.
That's right. But people add all kinds of weird things to it. So I'll have to add that.
I believe you. I believe you. So yes, please. That is very helpful. So again, just check your emails, check back even our commencement page. We'll put lots of info on that as well. And we are recording this, so we will send the recording to all of those that registered, and then we will also post this again on our commencement page so you can refer back to it. Chrissy's given her email. Please reach out to her. For more webinars, Erin's got you covered. There's a calendar there, calendar link. We've got tons of stuff happening, y'all. I don't know if you knew this or not, but it's not too late to get involved. You have tons of different types of book clubs. You have LGBTQ clubs. You have first gen clubs. There's so many different things and just events and bingo nights and Jeopardy nights and everything. So not too late to get involved. And we're so excited for you all. Yay, seniors! Yay!
I thought of something else I was going to mention to all of you. We were talking about honors cords. I want to circle back around to that. So if you have applied for graduation for December, if you qualify for an honors cord, we're just going to automatically send that to you. But if you're not planning on walking in Pullman in December, but you'd rather wait and walk with all of your compadres from the global campus in May, then hang on to that honors cord because in the spring semester, we'll then send honor cords to people who have qualified to receive an honors cord in the spring. So make sure you, I don't know, hang it on your rear view mirror or something like that and don't misplace it.
Sounds great. Well, everybody, just in case you don't know, when someone says go Cougs, what do you say?
Go Cougs.
Yay! So everybody go Cougs and have a great, oh, wait. Can you wear honors cords from an honor society? Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. If you've earned something in your academic career, like a cord of that, yes, wear that cord. Absolutely.
Yep. And we'll show you how to put those cords on, because a lot of people will have them on the outside of their yoke, or they're still, but actually go underneath the yoke. So like I said, lots of people there that are going to be able to help you with regalia, but wear those cords proudly.
And then one more, just making sure we don't have to order from Herf Jones now. We can wait till January 8th.
That's correct, because the only thing that's live now for Herf Jones is for people to order regalia for the Pullman commencement in December. So their May site is going to go live in January. Absolutely. And then Sophia, also, we will be sending out, or Herf Jones actually sends them out for free. So a week later, we're going to be sending out actual physical flyers with that information as well. We'll have it up on our commencement website, you know, once December's over. And actually, we're probably going to have two things going here pretty shortly. We'll have space for December commencement information and then some for May.
And then another question, do they just run GPA for honor cords in the spring based up until fall semester, or do they run GPA on midterms in spring?
So Courtney, great question. So when we run that query in the spring, it's based on your GPA at the end of the fall semester. So that means that occasionally there's somebody who maybe didn't qualify for an honors cord when we run the query, but then we get to the end of the spring semester and suddenly they've inched up over that, you know, threshold to be able to qualify for an honors cord. And so if that happens to anybody, we are happy to send an honors cord out after that final semester if folks should want one. But we always base it on, you know, like, so right now, we're going to be running that query for December, sometime towards the end of October. And so we're going to be looking at what were people's GPAs at the end of spring or summer.
Great. Yes, you definitely want to walk in Seattle. It is
Yes,
so
Sophia.
much fun. It is so much fun. It's my favorite part of my job. I love meeting all of you. And oh, Courtney. Yes, Courtney.
I just want to speak on that really quick because I thought that I wanted to walk in Pullman up until I visited commencement last year for student government. And like, it's so personalized to the global student experience. Like, I highly recommend everyone goes to the global commencement because it's awesome. And Andrea does a wonderful job. So.
Oh, that's awesome. I thought I wanted to walk in Pullman too, but this convinced me. I wish I got involved sooner with y'all.
Oh, yes,
That's
we
so
hear
great.
that a lot. Yes. Oh,
It's
I'm
not
so
too late. If it's okay, I want to pop in and add on to what Courtney said, because not only was the commencement amazing, but the reception that we did last year, I got the honor of being a part of planning that. And I have to tell you guys, the stories that we heard from global students, it is so unique to our experience on global campus. And you really get the time to get to know the people that you maybe didn't know in your classes or didn't get the chance to meet you or in different positions throughout your year, whatever it may be. But it's really a good opportunity to meet those people face to face. And it's such a community feel. You really get that WSU community. Even if it's at the end of graduation, maybe you can continue that connection into the Alumni Association as well. So highly recommend. And I look forward to seeing everyone in May.
Yeah, definitely.
Rachel, that's a great question. Will the Westin extend pricing to guests and family? We just signed the contract 2 days ago. So yay, everybody gets to know the drop secret. So I'm still working out all the details. I believe they just send out the link. And so the first however many people claim however many rooms is who gets it. So I will try to make sure I find more details. But of course, I take down my name. So when you get that information and you're working with Westin, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Chrisi and I, we talk a lot. So if you all throughout this process, all the way till the day of commencement, you reach out to one of us, we will make sure we take care of your answers and help you with whatever. This is my favorite part of my job. I'm all in it and I am there for you all. And I love it. And so, yes, Amaris did a great job. She did plan the dinner reception last year. So now she gets to be the guest, and all of you get to be the guest, and it's going to be so much fun. So
We
and
even had a student that attended virtually last year that had planned on being at the ceremony in person, but his wife gave birth to their child the morning of commencement. And so their family and his wife and the baby and I can't remember his name now, but he was in all his regalia and he attended virtually from the hospital room. So we want to celebrate with you, and we hope that you'll come to the Global Campus celebration.
yes, so we will be working on communications. That's probably going to be one of the first communications is the registration, of course. And so then you'll identify that you want to attend in person. Then once you identify whether you're attending in person or virtually, that's going to tell us what other communications to send you. So when you say I'm going to be in person, then we're going to send you that information for the link for your hotel. Then we're going to send you about parking, and we're going to send you all the other stuff. And so that way, if you chose virtual, we're not sending you all that jazz. You don't need to know it. We're sending you just the virtual stuff. So most likely the first communications that you all are going to get is that, hey, we're having a commencement. Come register. And that's when you're going to make all your decisions. And then we'll start
Awesome.
giving you details.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
Yes, and you all have, again, emails. Like I said, I've even talked to moms. If your mom is on you and like make plans and like, Mom, I have even talked to moms on the phone. So yes, I can try to help you with anything that you need. So I'm so excited to see you all. This makes me so excited. Now, granted, you'll see me on May and I'm going to be crazy, insane, going mad, but I'm still super excited. So I can't wait. And you all did a great job. I'm so proud of you all.
Thank you all for coming, and don't hesitate to reach out with questions.
Yep. Thank you all. Y'all are welcome to go or stay and ask more questions. Enjoy your evening. And again, go Cougs. I'm so proud of you.